You didn't just click on a title, you clicked on a wake-up call. After 60, your body becomes more vulnerable, and Dr. Andrew Huberman has pointed to 5 fruits that don't just support your health, but help prevent the slow decline that leads to premature death. They're backed by science, easy to find, and shockingly underused by people who need them most. If you're over 60, these 5 fruits could be the most powerful daily habit you're not using. Let's start with the one that protects your memory, sharpens your focus, and keeps your brain alive. Blueberries, the brain's last line of defense. You've probably laughed off a few moments of forgetfulness, misplaced keys, a name on the tip of your tongue. It seems harmless at first, but after 60, those little slips start to happen more often, and they become harder to ignore. What used to be brushed off as aging or distraction can slowly turn into something more serious, more permanent, and more frightening. Because cognitive decline doesn't begin with a diagnosis. It begins quietly. Your brain doesn't shut down all at once. It fades. Inflammation builds up slowly over time. Neurons misfire. The connections that once carried your sharpest thoughts begin to break down. You lose your edge. You lose focus. Eventually, you start losing parts of yourself. Most people miss the signs until it's too late, but you don't have to. Dr. Andrew Huberman has explained that long-term brain health depends on 2 crucial things: lowering neuroinflammation and protecting synaptic plasticity, your brain's ability to adapt, rewire, and stay strong with age. One of the most powerful natural tools that supports both is surprisingly simple: blueberries. These small, unassuming fruits are loaded with anthocyanins, potent antioxidants that have been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier, reduce inflammation in brain tissue, and support healthy neuron communication. They help improve blood flow to the brain, protect nerve cells from damage, and slow the progression of age-related memory loss. In fact, multiple studies have linked regular blueberry intake to sharper memory, better attention, and faster cognitive processing in older adults. Seniors who eat blueberries consistently tend to perform better on memory tests and show a slower rate of mental decline compared to those who don't. But this isn't just about numbers or research. It's about quality of life. Imagine waking up and feeling mentally clear, remembering the details of yesterday's conversation, navigating your day with focus and ease, not feeling embarrassed when a word escapes you or when you forget why you entered a room. Because this isn't just about forgetfulness, it's about freedom. Your ability to drive, to manage your life, to make decisions, to hold on to your personality and your relationships depends on the health of your brain. The best part? Blueberries don't require a prescription. They don't need to be complicated. You can add them to your oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, toss them into yogurt, or just eat them fresh. A simple handful a day can become one of the most powerful health habits you start after 60. Because when you protect your brain, you protect your identity, you protect your independence, you protect your life. And while your brain defines who you are, your heart determines how long you get to stay. The next fruit might just be the difference between a silent killer and a second chance. Avocados, the lifesaver your heart didn't know it needed. Your brain may guide your thoughts, but your heart is the reason you're still here. It beats over 100,000 times a day, without your permission, without your attention. And after 60, it works harder than ever, often under increasing pressure. The scariest part? It rarely complains. You don't feel plaque as it builds inside your arteries. You don't hear the rise of your blood pressure or sense the stiffness of your blood vessels. There are no red flashing lights, no loud alarms, just silence until something gives. You could be walking, laughing, living, and then everything stops. Heart disease remains the #1 cause of death for people over 60, and it's not always caused by a bad lifestyle or poor choices. Sometimes it's biology, it's aging. The body becomes slower to recover, less flexible, more prone to damage. Arteries harden, inflammation creeps in, blood flow struggles to reach where it's needed most. It's a slow, silent breakdown happening inside millions of people who look perfectly fine on the outside. But this doesn't have to be your story. Not if you start giving your heart what it needs to keep beating strong. Avocados may seem trendy, but they're one of the most powerful, heart-protective foods nature has to offer. Packed with monounsaturated fats, potassium, and soluble fiber, they do what most medications try to do, without the side effects. These nutrients work together to reduce the bad LDL cholesterol that clogs arteries, increase the good HDL cholesterol that protects them, and stabilize blood pressure levels to reduce strain on your cardiovascular system. Every single one of those benefits matters more after 60 because that's when your heart needs support the most. Dr. Andrew Huberman has spoken about endothelial function, the health and flexibility of the inner lining of your blood vessels, as one of the key markers of longevity. When this layer stiffens, blood can't flow freely, but avocados help maintain that flexibility, improving circulation from your heart to your brain to your extremities. Think about what that actually means. Better blood flow doesn't just protect your heart. It fuels every organ in your body. It means more oxygen to your brain, better nutrient delivery to your muscles, improved endurance, clearer thinking, and faster healing. It means waking up with more energy and ending the day without feeling drained, all because your blood is moving the way it should. And here's the best part. It doesn't take much. Half an avocado a day can shift the chemistry of your body in your favor. You can mash it on whole grain toast, toss slices into a salad, blend it into a smoothie, or simply eat it with a spoon and a pinch of salt. There's no complicated prep, no exotic ingredient list, just real food with real power. Because your heart isn't just a pump, it's your engine, and if that engine fails, nothing else works. Not your memory, not your mobility, not your will to stay independent. When the heart slows down, life follows. But if you strengthen it, if you fuel it, then everything else gets stronger too. And that's why the next fruit matters even more. Because while avocados protect the flow of blood, the next one protects the health of your cells. It slows aging at the molecular level, and it may be the most underrated weapon in your fight for longevity. Pomegranates, the anti-aging weapon, hiding in plain sight. By the time you turn 60, aging isn't just about wrinkles, gray hair, or what you see in the mirror. It's about what's breaking down silently beneath the surface, at the cellular level. Your body doesn't bounce back like it used to. Wounds take longer to heal. Energy drains more quickly. And underneath it all, your cells are sending distress signals that few people notice until it's too late. The truth is, aging accelerates when your body's internal repair systems slow down. Inflammation starts to spread. Not the kind you can see or feel, but the quiet, chronic kind that buries itself in your joints, your arteries, your organs, and left unchecked, that inflammation creates the perfect environment for every major disease we associate with aging: arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and even cancer. So the real threat after 60 isn't simply getting old. It's what happens when the fire of inflammation burns for too long without being put out. But there is a fruit, a deeply colored ancient fruit that fights back harder than most. Revered in ancient medicine, studied in modern labs, and now championed by experts like Dr. Andrew Huberman, pomegranates have earned their reputation as one of the most potent anti-aging foods in existence. Crack one open, and you'll see hundreds of ruby red seeds known as aryls. Inside those seeds are powerful compounds called polyphenols, particularly punicalagins and ellagic acid. These aren't just antioxidants in theory, they're inflammation fighters in action. They reduce oxidative stress at the cellular level, improve blood vessel function, and enhance mitochondrial efficiency, the very engines that fuel your cells with energy. When your mitochondria work better, you work better. You feel it in how quickly you recover, in how long you can stay active, in how clearly you think, and in how deeply you sleep. And the benefits go beyond just energy. Pomegranate extract has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, reduce arterial stiffness, and even enhance cognitive function. In one clinical study, older adults who drank pomegranate juice daily showed greater flexibility in their blood vessels and improved performance on memory tests. But this isn't just about numbers or data. This is about what it feels like to age in reverse. Imagine waking up with less pain in your knees, walking up the stairs without wincing, feeling alert without relying on caffeine, staying active throughout the day without crashing by mid-afternoon. That's what happens when your body isn't bogged down by inflammation. That's what pomegranates can help restore, not just years to your life, but life to your years. And you don't need to be a gourmet chef or a juice fanatic to make it work. Just a small serving of pomegranate seeds sprinkled over your breakfast, or a small glass of unsweetened pomegranate juice a few times a week, can begin to shift your biology in the right direction. It's not flashy, it's not complicated, it's consistent. That's what makes it powerful, because aging isn't just a slow decline, it's a battle. And pomegranates are one of the few foods with the strength to fight on your behalf, deep in your blood, your brain, and your cells. But even if you cool the fires of inflammation, there's still a system most people overlook, the one that determines how well you absorb nutrients, fight off infection, and keep your whole body running smoothly. And when that system breaks down, everything else starts to fall apart. That's where the next fruit steps in, working from the inside out to repair the foundation. Papayas, the gut-healing fruit that turns back the clock. After 60, the little discomforts start adding up. You feel heavier after meals, even if you didn't overeat. You experience more bloating, more irregularity, more fatigue that lingers, even after a full night's sleep. You might chalk it up to age or stress, but what you may not realize is that much of this points to a deeper issue. Your gut isn't working the way it used to. Most people think aging starts in the skin, the joints, or the bones, but more often than not, it starts in the gut. Your digestive system is the command center for far more than just food. It influences your immune function, your hormone balance, your energy, your memory, even your mood. And once it begins to falter, the ripple effects touch nearly every system in your body. As you age, your stomach produces less acid. The enzymes that once effortlessly broke down your meals become less active. Your intestinal lining, which acts as a gatekeeper, weakens. And that means you absorb fewer nutrients, even if you're eating well. What once gave you energy now leaves you sluggish. What used to digest easily now feels heavy and slow. This isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. A weakened gut means less defense against infections, higher levels of inflammation, and less communication between your gut and your brain, a connection that researchers now understand to be vital for mental clarity and emotional balance. But here's the good news. You can restore your gut's power, and one of the most effective ways to do that is with papaya. This soft tropical fruit may look simple on the outside, but inside it's a digestive powerhouse. At the heart of its healing ability is an enzyme called papain, a natural compound that helps break down proteins and lighten the load on your digestive system. It acts almost like a reset button for your gut, helping to restore efficiency without relying on medications or supplements. Dr. Andrew Huberman has emphasized that optimal enzyme function and nutrient absorption are essential to healthy aging, especially after 60. Without it, your cells can't perform, your tissues can't repair, your immune system can't respond quickly enough to keep you safe. But papaya helps fix the problem at the root. And papain is only the beginning. Papayas are also rich in vitamin C, which strengthens the immune system, folate, which supports cell regeneration, and fiber, which feeds your gut's beneficial bacteria, reduces inflammation in the intestines, and keeps things moving. Together, this trio works to heal and protect your digestive tract from the inside out. The difference can be dramatic. Many older adults who add papaya to their diets notice less bloating, more regular bowel movements, smoother digestion, and an overall boost in energy. You don't feel as heavy after meals, you don't feel as foggy during the day, and your immune system becomes more responsive, better equipped to defend against illness, fatigue, and age-related breakdown. Just a small serving after your main meal can help your body absorb more of the nutrients you're already eating. You're not just supporting digestion, you're helping your body heal, rebuild, and function better. And the simplicity is part of the magic. There's no complex recipe or regimen. You just slice it, scoop out the seeds, and eat. No cooking, no prep, just real food doing what it was designed to do. If fresh papaya isn't always available, frozen chunks or unsweetened dried papaya can offer similar benefits. The key is consistency, making it part of your routine, not just a once-in-a-while treat. Because here's the truth. When your gut fails, your body can't win. But when your gut is strong, when it digests efficiently, absorbs fully, and communicates clearly with the rest of your systems, everything else starts working better. Your energy rises, your inflammation drops, your brain gets sharper, your immune system stays ready. Papaya doesn't just help your gut, it helps restore balance to everything connected to it. The daily habit that quietly saves lives. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but after 60, it might do much more than that. It might help you prevent the very conditions that quietly chip away at your strength, your independence, and your time. Because the most dangerous threats to your health rarely announce themselves. They don't come with pain or alarms. They build in silence, bit by bit, day after day, chronic inflammation, blood sugar spikes, oxidative stress, arterial stiffness. These are the forces that drive aging from the inside out. And if you're not paying attention, they can take years off your life before you even realize something's wrong. That's where apples come in. They're not flashy, they're not exotic, but they are powerful, and the science proves it. Every apple is packed with soluble fiber, especially a form called pectin. This fiber slows the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, helping to regulate glucose levels and avoid the blood sugar spikes that lead to insulin resistance. After 60, this becomes even more important. Your metabolism slows, your body's sensitivity to insulin decreases, and the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and heart disease goes up significantly. Pectin acts like a natural buffer, helping your body stay balanced after meals. But that's just the beginning. Apples are also rich in polyphenols, plant compounds with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. These natural defenders help relax your blood vessels, improve circulation, lower blood pressure, and reduce the chronic inflammation that often leads to heart disease, arthritis, and even cognitive decline. According to studies referenced by Dr. Andrew Huberman and other researchers in the field of longevity, consistent apple consumption is associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular disease, fewer signs of oxidative damage, and even reduced markers of certain cancers. These aren't subtle shifts. These are life-altering outcomes, achieved through something as simple as a daily habit. And here's what makes apples even more remarkable. They're accessible. You don't need to prep them. You don't need a juicer or a blender. You don't need a tutorial. Just rinse, bite, chew, and benefit. It's one of the few truly effortless ways to support your health, and it fits into any lifestyle. The effects are gradual. You won't feel a dramatic change overnight, but day by day, something starts to shift. You experience fewer crashes, more steady energy, you think more clearly, you feel a bit more resilient, and over time, those small changes add up to something big. Because health after 60 isn't about one-time interventions. It's about what you do repeatedly, the small things, the daily habits, the quiet choices that don't get much attention, but keep you strong. And apples, they're one of those quiet choices, one of those unshakable allies. They don't need to make noise to make a difference. So imagine this. Adding just one apple a day to your routine. Nothing fancy, nothing forced, just one consistent protective step you can take every single day. That simple habit can reduce your risk of disease, protect your heart, support your brain, and help you stay sharp and steady well into your later years. It may sound small, but small habits done daily are what save lives. Here's something most people don't realize after 60. It's rarely one major disease that ends a life. It's the slow breakdown of the body, one system at a time. Your memory becomes unreliable, your heart loses strength, your gut stops working the way it used to, your blood sugar climbs, your immune system weakens and begins to miss the threats it once handled with ease. And the problem is, it all happens quietly. You don't feel your arteries stiffen. You don't notice inflammation in your cells. You don't hear your digestion slowing down until one day something breaks. A heart attack, a stroke, a sudden diagnosis, a fall that leaves you struggling to recover. But here's the part most people overlook. That same compounding process, the one that leads to decline, can also lead to healing. The power of habit doesn't just work against you, it can work for you. And it starts with food. Not pills, not expensive treatments, just daily, deliberate nourishment that supports your body where it needs it most. When you eat the right things consistently, you're not just reducing symptoms, you're rebuilding the systems that keep you alive. Blueberries keep your neurons sharp and your memory strong. Avocados protect your heart and keep your blood flowing freely. Pomegranates reduce inflammation and slow down cellular aging. Papayas restore your digestion and strengthen your immune system. And apples help you control blood sugar, lower inflammation, and keep your body in balance. These aren't just healthy snacks, they're daily defenses. Individually, each fruit helps protect one part of you. But together, they create a full-body strategy for staying well. They work silently, gradually, and powerfully to give you back control over your health. The real magic isn't in one bite. It's in consistency, day after day, choice after choice. These fruits don't fix you in a week, but over time, they begin to restore what aging tried to take. A sharper mind, a stronger heart, a cleaner bloodstream, a better gut, and a body that doesn't just survive, but thrives. Because the truth is, aging isn't your biggest enemy. Neglect is. And the opposite of neglect is habit. These 5 fruits aren't trends. They're not miracle cures wrapped in marketing. They're not exotic, expensive, or out of reach. They're everyday tools, rooted in science, backed by data, and capable of shifting the direction of your health, starting now. After 60, your body faces challenges it never did before. Your brain begins to process slower. Your arteries stiffen. Inflammation spreads through your joints, your gut, your bloodstream. Your cells start to show the wear and tear of a life fully lived. And if you do nothing, that damage continues to build. But you are not powerless. With every bite of these fruits, you're feeding your body information. You're sending signals to your brain, your heart, your immune system to protect, repair, and perform. Blueberries tell your neurons to stay sharp. Avocados tell your heart to beat stronger. Pomegranates tell your cells to fight inflammation instead of feeding it. Papayas tell your gut to digest more efficiently and defend your body with resilience. Apples tell your blood sugar to stay stable and your system to stay calm. These aren't just nutrients. They are instructions for survival. This isn't about perfection. It's not about overhauling your life or chasing youth. It's about stacking small, smart decisions that build momentum, because one fruit a day might not feel like a big deal, but one fruit every day for a year, that's how you reshape the trajectory of your health. That's how you add years to your life and life to those years. You don't need permission, you don't need a prescription, and you don't need to wait, because the most dangerous thing you can do now is nothing. And the most powerful thing you can do is start. Start with one fruit, then make it two. Start with one meal, then build a routine. Start now, because time isn't guaranteed. These 5 fruits could save you from a premature death, but only if you give your body the chance to use them. So don't just watch this and move on. Make the change, make it daily, and give yourself the gift of a future you can actually live to enjoy.